Hello, and how are you? My name is Mohindo Mubarak, and I welcome you again to the 7th video of creating a WhatsApp chat application clone. In today's video, we are going to work with the logic of connecting our application with the server, so that this application should be able to send that information to the server, and the server should be able to send the information to the application, and the application can get the information. That's what we're going to do in today's video. So without wasting much time, I believe you've been following along. If you haven't, then I recommend you to follow the previous videos. Without wasting much time, let's get started and resume from where I stopped at in the previous video. To connect our application with the server, we are going to use the library of Retrofit. That is a HTTP library, and it is popular, and it's going to simplify the connection between our server and the application. So to add the HTTP Retrofit in our application, we simply come to the internet and search. Of course, you're going to search Retrofit. You can just simply come on Google and search Retrofit. You'll find it, and just you can search Retrofit library, whatever. Retrofit library Android, something like that. Then you'll find this link which is having Retrofit Square, so you have to open that, and where you can is where you can find the implementation of Retrofit. You can read along if you have time, but for me, I've already anticipated, so I don't need to read along. Okay, so let's go straight to the point. I have this library somewhere already. Okay, this is the first one. You can pause the video and look at it. Of course, it is there on the page that I've just shown you. This is the first one, and this is the converter. So this is the one that is going to work as the connection between our application and and the server, and this second one is going to work as the converter to help us to convert the response from the server API, which is the JSON, into the objects of Java that we'll use into our application. So we need these two. You can pause the video and look at them, but for me, since I already have them, so I'm just going to copy them and paste them in our application, so we can do what? We can proceed. So another thing that it shouldn't confuse you, these are two applications. You can see here on top here, this is another application that I've been using before, but the one that you're working with is this one, which is having WhatsApp chat title. Okay, so don't confuse the two. So you can see I've copied these libraries from here. So you can pause the video and look at them, or you can search them. They're on internet. Okay, so I'm going to copy them and go to application, which is here, and then go to our Gradle module. Okay, Gradle module here, and then I'm going to come here on bottom and put another library of HTTP. So make sure that you're connected to internet, and then you sync the application. So application is going to sync. It can take a minute, depends on your internet connection speed. So our application has completed syncing. Okay, our application has completed what? Syncing. So we proceed. So we're going to proceed now with the registration. Of course, we're going to begin with the registration, but before we begin with the registration, we're going to begin by testing our connection between the server and the application. Okay, so to do that, where should we begin from? Okay, we have to begin from creating the interface that is going to act between our project and the Retrofit itself. So simply come to the project here, and then scroll on top here. So I'm going to come here in the main package. I'm going to add another package for the web, just like I added a package for the for the database. I'm going to add another one for the for the web. So right click here and say new, and then come and say package, and I'm going to call it web. Okay, so all the web business I'll be saving it here. So I already create the interface, so I'll be just to save your time, I'll be copying and paste here, and I explain. Okay, I don't want to hard code everything here so that I waste the video. Should be long. I don't want that, so I'll be pasting here some code and I explain it because I'm the one who created it before, to save your time. Okay, so we're going to add here the interface that is going to act between our application and the Retrofit itself. So I have it here. This is another project. Okay, so that's the good thing about creating these projects. You create them one time and then you reuse them again and again and again. Okay, so I have it here. So I'm going to come here this is the application, the WhatsApp one. So right click here where I've put just web, right click on the web package, and then come and say new Java class, and I'm going to click on interface, and then I paste there as web interface. I mean, I call it web interface. So I'll press enter so I can have this here. So after putting the interface, now we're going to put our first method in the interface that is going to be used just for testing to see if we can send some message and we get some message back. Oh, let us put just direct method. For what? For registering a user. So before we put a method, let us first go back to our source code of the API that we created before, and see how we register the user, and we see whether we're expecting a get method or a post method. Okay, so we'll go there. This is the source code that we did. If you did not do it, please, I really recommend you to pause the video and go back to the first videos, because we did all this together. Okay, so if you didn't do them, please go and do them so that you can be at the same point with us. So this is the register. This is the register what? The register method. I mean the register, how should you call it? This is the register file that we did, and the whole logic of registration is here, if you still remember. So let us see what we're expecting here. Of course, we're expecting a post. Okay, you can see we're expecting a post, and this post must having a name. Okay, so I'm going to create this registration method here. I'm going to create this registration method. Okay, I mean a connection that is going to connect to this registration method. So to do that, let us first make sure that this registration method is working through the web. So you can see here, where are we? Okay, you can see here, I'm going to open here my web, and then make sure that your localhost is already running. Okay, the localhost should be running already. Okay, so I'm going to come here and then come to localhost stroke. I saved it in WhatsApp folder. Okay, that is the main method, the index. So if I put stroke what? Stroke register.php. Okay, stroke register.php, you see what it's showing us. It's giving us a name and a phone number. Of course, that's what we're expecting from the user. So it is working, but you're not submitting data. So this is when you learn for the very first time. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this now in the Android application, and to see if we can get the same data. Okay, so let's go and do it. Okay, so this is our Android application. Okay, so we're going to put a method that is going to send a post to this side, so you can be able to register. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. I have already some methods of post. Post. Okay, I don't have it here. I have it here. Another application here. I was having another video that I was doing here. Okay. So here having a post, and this is how we write post. Okay, this is how we write a method of post. I'm going to explain everything. You don't need to worry about everything. So first of all, you write the word call, and then put what you're expecting back. Okay, what you're expecting back. So I'm going to explain everything. You don't need to worry about anything. Okay, so let me go and do it. Okay, this is the application. So you write like this, call. Okay, call like this. Okay, and then we write what we're expecting back. Okay, what we're expecting back. For example, here when we are registering, we're expecting back some stuff. Okay, let's first look at it. What you'll do when you successfully register. We're expecting something called response, and this response will have a code and the message and the data. Okay, so if we come here, for example, I put Bira Sabia like this. Okay, sorry, Bira Sabia like this, and then phone number, I'll put just some random number that I've not used before. Okay, and then create an account. You see what you're expecting? You're expecting a response like this one. Let me copy it and then come here to JSON viewer. You can try to look at this called JSON viewer. It's used to just formatting the JSON. So I'll press there and click on format. You see something that we're expecting. We're expecting a code and an object that is having code and having message and then having data. Okay, so that's the format of an object that you're expecting. So we're going to create this model, and we are going to add it in an application that will have a code and message and data. So we're going to create it, and then it's done that will be receiving. Okay, so let's go to our project. This is our project. I'm going to come here to the project, and I'm going to come here to the models. Okay, I'm going to add another model, new Java class. I'm going to call it web response. You can call it web response, you can call it anything. Okay, let me just call it web response. I can call it just response model. Okay, so this is a class that we're going to be expecting. So if we're expecting, so of course we have to have a property of code. So let us first look and see here. So the code is an integer. We see when you're creating here, we're sending back the code as an integer. So if the code is 0, we know it failed. If the code is 1, then it was successful. So here in our Java class, we're going to add, of course, a public a public integer that is going to have the name of code, and by default we can make it to 0. Okay, so after doing that, we're expecting another thing. It's a message, of course. So we're going to add here a public string of message, and you're going to initialize it to what? To nothing by default. Okay, what else? We're expecting data. Okay, data, so you just simply put a string of data. So that is what we're expecting. Okay, so that is a format of what we're expecting. We're expecting a response, we're expecting a code, we're expecting a message. So we're expecting a code and a message and what? And data. So that's the format that we're using. So we go back to what? To after creating this model, so you have to go back to the web interface. So you just simply write the word call, and then you pass there what? The response that you're expecting. So expecting a what? A response model. Okay, an object in form of response model. After doing that, then we add these few lines. We give this method a what? A name. Okay, so for me I can call it register, or register user, whatever. So register, so it's the one that we'll be using to communicate to the what? With the registration. And then after, you open the bracket and pass the following. So you pass here what you're going to send to what you'll be sending to the web. Okay, what you'll be sending to the web. So for example, when you're registering here, you see, when you're registering here the account here, we're expecting a post. When you're creating an account here, we're expecting a post of a what? Of a name. You see, we're expecting a post of a name. So once you have the name, we're expecting a name and a what? And a phone number. These are the two things that we're expecting from the what? From the user, the name and the phone number. So I have to put here that we just add here like at field. You see here, we put here at field, and then you give a name. Let me copy it and do it here, and you see. Okay, so you come here on register, open the bracket. You see I've been creating it. So you just input at field, and then you open the bracket and you put here what you're going to send to the what? To the database. To the server. Of course, we're going to send the name, and the other thing that we're going to send, so I'll duplicate this one, is going to be what? A phone number. Okay, so I'll put here phone number and add here phone number, and then remove this last comma. So these are the two things that we're going to send in form of post to the what? To the server when you're registering a what? A new user, a name and a phone number. So after doing that, then you have to specify that this method is a post and is going to be sent to where? To register.php. So you just simply come here, you put here at post, just write on top of this one, on top of this very method, you write at post, and you put here the link that you want to be sending the data to. So you know here our project, it is what? You can see we created it as register.php after the main domain. So it is stroke register.php. So after doing like this, we will have done what? We'll have created the interface of the method that will communicate between our application and the what? And the server on the section of register. Okay, so I hope we are still together. If I'm too fast, you can slow the speed. If I'm too slow, you can fast the speed. And if I'm at your pace, then that is good. If you are not getting me, you can pause the video and look at what I'm creating. So this is the method that is going to work with the registration. So now it is now the time to go and work with the registration form that you created in the previous video, so that we can be able to what? To send the data to the what? To the server. Okay, so let's go and do it. Okay, so here is a what? Is a registration form. What is it? Register. Okay, register this one. Okay, So in this registration form, first of all, I'm going to put the one that that initialize toolbar, that is going to initialize the toolbar with okay, let us leave the initialize toolbar for now. Okay, let's first talk on the business, and then we'll come for that later. Okay, so first of all, let's go ahead and put the what, the bind views method that's going to connect our views with the what, with the backend. So I'm going to call it bind views. Okay, this is our register activity. Press Alt and Enter and create this method. Okay, so after doing that, let's go and see what we're interested in. So I'll press Ctrl and click here to navigate direct to what, to our front end layout. This is it. So we're interested in we did this one the previous video, I hope you still remember. So we're interested in this color doesn't look good. Let me see if I can change it somewhere. This color doesn't look good. Where can I find it? In themes, I think. Yeah, so put your primary color and your primary color. That's beautiful. Okay, otherwise it was looking weird. Okay, so you see I've fixed that color in the themes here. So if we come here, now everything should be beautiful. Very good, everything is now beautiful. Okay. So without wasting much time, so we're interested in the first name. Okay, so I'm going to put here the name. You see it is having in the ID of a what, of a name, and what data type is it? Text input. So I'll navigate back to register and create a what, a value, an attribute for the name. Okay, it's going to be text input, and I'm going to call it name view, name underscore view. Okay, so here in the bind views, I'm going to initialize it. So is equal to find view by id r dot id dot name view. Of course, I have to give it here for an id of name view if I want to. So I've connected this name view with the layout. Okay, so I hope that is straightforward. After doing that, let's go ahead and get the phone number. So I have to give this one an ID. This one, this guy, I have get an ID. It's a what, phone number view. Okay, so I'll copy the ID and come back here, and then I'll duplicate this guy, give phone number view, and then here in the bind views I initialize it like that. Okay, then lastly we have to get our button. This button, we don't even to get it, we just simply, okay, let's get it just like as you wish. So what is it? It is here. It's having a button inside here. Where is it though? I want this. Okay, it is here, login button. So I'm going to call it here register button. Okay, so register button is going to be just a button, and also do what, we also bind it. Okay, so let's go ahead and now do what, add a click listener on the register button dot set on click listener. It's going to be new on click listener. Okay, there it is. Okay, so here is where we're going to what, to call the registration method or validate method, something like that. So let's create another method. I'm going to call it register user. Register user, you can call it anything. So I come here in the method, I point in it and press Alt and Enter, and I create it. Okay, in the main activity here. Okay, so in this register user, so we have to collect the name. So I'm going to put here another variable on top here, and it's going to be a string, and I'm going to call it name value, and I initialize it to nothing by default, and also phone value. I can call it phone number, I can call it anything. Okay, so here when you click on register, now it's time to collect the data from the form to these values. Okay, so I'll come here, name value is equal to what, is equal to name view dot what, dot get text dot to string. Okay, so I have to validate just a little bit here, and I see if this name view dot length is less than 3, and then I'll toast enter valid name. Okay, and then I return here, return. Okay, that in case the name is less than 3, and someone cannot have a full name of less than 3. Let us make it 4. Okay, let us make it 4. Okay, because you are expecting a full name. Okay, enter valid full name. Enter your valid full name, whatever. Okay, so after doing that, we'll go ahead and duplicate this one and do the same for the what? For the phone number. Duplicate. I'm going to put here phone number. So it's going to be phone value equals phone number view, and then I'll check if phone number view is less than maybe 5 or 6. I can say enter valid phone number. Okay, I can even request a focus at this point. Dot request focus. So here it will automatically take the user to where they should do what? They should correct. Okay, so that's it. So if you pass these 2 levels of security, but this is not how we validate the phone number. There is a long way how it validates the phone number, but here for me I'm just simply checking the length. Okay, so if you successfully pass these 2 levels of security, then you can go ahead and do what? And register your account. So I can put here simple toast and say creating your account. Or let us just put I'm going to put here just another thing that we'll be just using for testing. Okay, I'm going to use it for testing. Let me put here another view. I'll delete it later. I'm going to use it for just showing the status, whether it was successfully registered or not, something like that. Okay, so let me put that view here in the under this sign up. Okay, under this sign up. Okay, so I put here a text view of width wrap content and height wrap content, and I'm going to give it an ID of data. Let me give it even text of maybe data, and give it and give it maybe size of 20 dp. So I would just want this here to be showing what is going on here. I want us to be seeing what is going on here in the application. That's why I put this view here. Okay, I want to be putting my data here to see what is going on. Okay, so that's it. So let's go and get this view from this side. I'll come and go create it here. Just say text view, and then I bind it, or I can call it status. You can call it anything. I bind it. I'll delete it later just for testing. Okay, I bind it. After binding it, okay, let me call it status. It will be showing us the status. Okay, so here when we are loading, I'm just going to put here dot set text. Okay, and put loading just for showing what is going on. Okay, that's why I need that view. So I can put here loading here. I can say please wait, something like that. That's a simple toast. Okay, so there we go. Now it's time to send the data to the what? To the database. I hope up to now we're together, right? I hope that up to now we're together. We just created what will collect the data from the form. Okay, so now it's time to send the data from what? To the server. Now that's where the whole business starts from. Okay, so where do we begin from? Where do we begin from? So we begin by creating the interface itself. Okay, so we begin by creating the interface itself, and I'm going to show you the steps so that we use to create the interface. Okay, so we have steps. Okay, so step number one, we create the interface. Okay, so we just write retrofit you give it a name. Retrofit is equal to new retrofit builder. Okay, you do that. That is step number 1. Okay, step number 2, you put there your base link. Okay, you okay, after here dot builder, after builder you put dot. Okay, before you even put a semicolon, you put dot and you put base string. So this base string, I mean base what? Base, how should I call it? The base URL for your application or the API. Okay, so our base URL is going to be http 10.0.2.2.880. So here on the localhost, if you want to connect, if you're working with the localhost and you want to connect with the localhost with your XAMPP, we use this IP. Okay, we use this IP. If you're not using 8080 on your application, you see me, I'm using 8080 on my localhost. That's why I had 8080. But if you're not using it, you just leave it the way it is, like this. Okay, so I'm going to put here stroke where our website is. Our website is on WhatsApp. Okay, so to avoid me repeating myself, I'm going to define this one and make it a constant, so I should not keep on repeating myself. And you know where I'm putting our constants? Of course, we are putting all our constant in the register, I mean the start application, I mean start activity. So I'll come here in our start activity. I'm going to put here our constant here. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this one. It's just a public static string, and I'm going to put here our base URL. Of course, our base URL is what? Is http 10.0.2.2. So that's what you use when you're connecting to the localhost by default most of the time. Okay, 10.0.2.2. okay, I hope you have to write that one also. So if you're using the 8080 with your localhost, you should put 8080, the port. If you're not using this port, if you're having a default port, you don't need to put that 8080. And then stroke the name of your application, I mean the name of your what, of your API, where the API is located. For mine is located on WhatsApp. So give this one the name. I'm going to call it base_URL. Okay, and call it API URL or whatever you call it. Okay, I'm calling it base URL. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to register here, and then I'm going to pass here the base URL. Press Alt and Enter and import it. Okay, and import that base URL. It's now imported. Okay, so after importing, then we add the converter now. Okay, so I add a converter. So we have ours is a JSON converter. Okay, JSON converter, JSON convert factory. Yeah, that's it. So there is a way if you want to add more things, but this is a simple one. So it is JSON converter factory.create. So you pass it here inside. Okay, if you're using the JSON converter, then you add that build. So this is the one that's going to, this is how we initialize our retrofit. It's a little bit simple, please don't confuse it. Okay, it is simple up to now. Please, you shouldn't get confused that it is so hard. Okay, so after doing that, now we go to the second step. So the second step is the one that you're going to use to connect the to initialize the interface. Okay, to initialize the interface and connect with the with the retrofit object builder object. Okay, so that is step number 2. So you say web interface, you know, we create this interface, it is here. Okay, I called it web interface, whatever I called it. Okay, so you put web interface equals, I mean web interface, right? The web interface equals to retrofit, this retrofit that we just created, dot create, and you put the web interface that we created, which is web interface dot class. So that is how we link the retrofit with the web interface that we created. After doing that, then we proceed and now create the call that is going to send the message to the server. So our call is, of course, right here what we're expecting. Of course, what we're expecting is a response model, of course, like the way we did here. You see, here we're saying that we're expecting a response model. So write the call, and then you put a response model, what you're expecting. You can see I'm writing the steps so that you shouldn't get lost. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. So I can write here the variable that I want to do. I can call it response, or I can call it resp. Okay, or I can call it call. I can call it my call, something, whatever you call it. Okay, and then you put here the method in that you already have here in your interface. Okay, so our method here is register. So register, it is expecting what? It is expecting two parameters, the name and the phone number. So here we pass the name value. Of course, we already collected the name value, and the second one is the what? Is the phone number. Okay, phone number value. Okay, and then we remove this age and whatever. So that is how we do those two. I think up to now we are still together. Okay. So after doing that, now it is time now to do what? To connect to the database. I mean to send the data to the what? To the server. So to do this, we just simply write the call and then the enqueue. Then you say new. I don't know whether I still remember. New call. Oh, I don't memorize this. Okay. So you just put the name and then the new callback. Yeah, you write new callback. Okay. Let me come back again. You say. After writing, you get here your call. They say dot enqueue, say new call back, and then they'll auto suggest for you this stuff. Okay, this good stuff. So after they suggest, you just press enter. They'll write for you the remaining magic. Okay, that is the beauty about it. So here it is a callback that will be executed when it is successful, and this is the callback that will be executed when it fails. So let us just simply create here a toast here. A toast. I can say here it failed. Okay, and then let us write the reason why it failed in our what? In our you can put it in the console, but for me already remember how to have that status view. So I can say status view dot what dot set text, and I get this t dot what dot get message, this error dot get message. So I can put here like failed, and I add that. Okay, fail and I add that. Okay, after doing that, so in case it is successful, it will bring this one. Okay, so if it is successful, I'll check. I'll just simply say the response dot. So I have here the response body and the response is successful, whatever. So if it is successful, I can just say if the response is successful. If the response is successful, okay, is not successful. If it is not successful, I'll get I can make a toast. Not what? Not success. Too many toasts. Let me remove this one. Okay, so I'm just going to say response. I'm going to say okay, the status dot set text. I can say success but not successful. Okay, here it is successful but there's some issues, maybe converter or anything. So response dot what dot error body. So here in case there's no internet, in case there is a problem with converter, so I'll get here success but there's some issues, so I can return also here. From here I can return. So in case it is not successful, return like this. In case it's not successful, in case it's successful but maybe there's some error on the server, there is maybe network problem, maybe there's some conversion problem with an API, all that, it will be successful but there will be some error, and this error you can get it like this. So I'll set the status, the text of the status to that error. So if it is successful, I can just simply say the status dot set text. I can say 100% success. Okay, and that's it. Okay, 100% success. Okay, so that's in case when it is 100% successful that I'll execute this one. Okay, so after doing that, let's go ahead and now run our application. I think that's it. So that's it. So you can pause the video and look at this source code in case you did not get it. Let me start from top here. We bend the views. Here we call back when they click on register. We validate. After validating, we pass the validation. Then we initialize the interface, the web and the interface. After, then we create the call and then we enqueue the call and run it. Okay, so let's run the application and see what we've got. So I'll click on run and see what we're going to get. So that's our application and there's no error for now. So let's go ahead and do some test. Okay, test. So I can put here the first name. Why this thing's not writing? Why? It accepts only the phone numbers. Okay, the numbers. Let us go and change this input type. Okay, input type here, full name. It should be what? It should be text, not number. Oh, you can put name, not number. Okay, so let's run it again. I made a mistake here. It's supposed to be name, not a number. The number is only for the phone number, right? Okay, it's quitting, it's running. There we go. There we go, baby. Not logged in. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so here I'll put Mohindo Barak Android. Okay, so after doing that, can come and put the phone number 07797, whatever phone number. Okay, so after doing that, let us click on sign in now. Oh, it's supposed to be sign up. Yeah, it's going to be sign up. Sign up. Okay, so let's click on sign up. There's an error, baby. Let's look at the error which is being caused. Let us debug it. Which error could it be? Let's run the application again and see what the error is. Which error is it? Okay, already this is some warning here. Photo main PID whatever. Okay, we'll look at it. Okay, let's see which error could it be. Let me click on sign up before I do anything. Enter valid name, Mohindo Mubarak. Sign up, enter valid phone number. Okay, click now. Let us first clear the console and then click on sign up. We got you. Let's see the error. Photo main WhatsApp ID at field can only be used with the forming code. Oh yeah. Okay, there's some error that we're gonna fix right now. I know the problem. So post this at field, at part. Okay, no, at field. Okay, yeah. Form encoded. Yeah. So I forgot one thing to encode the form. So where's our WhatsApp application? It is here. So I have to come here and add this on top here. At form URL encoded. Okay, URL encoded. Otherwise it won't work. You have to add this form URL encoded on top here, right? Let's run the application now, and we see what we've got. So there's the app, John app 07 whatever. So let's click now on sign up. See, permission denied. Okay, that I was expecting it. So permission denied. So we have to add something a little bit, something small, and that's the one that will enable us to connect with a local host with our Android application. That I was expecting it. You see, I was expecting it failed because the permission was not successful. That's it. So let us fix that issue. So to fix that issue, we have to add a few lines in our project. We come here in our resources. Is it resources? Let me see. I created here sometime before. So we come here to the resources and add a file called okay, let me show you how we solve that problem. Okay, so we come to resources here. We come to resources, right click on it and say new. Create a new directory. You can call it web. You can call it anything, but me I'll call it web. And then after doing that, after creating a new directory called web, where is it? Oh my god. Did it come under resources? Okay, it's called XML, not web. New directory, call it just XML. Okay, call it XML, not web. Sorry, I don't know whether that folder of web will go, but whatever, we'll see. I'll solve it in case it brings a problem. So you add a folder here in resource, you call it XML, strictly XML. Then you right click on it and then say new. You add an XML file and you can give it any name. Here I'm going to call it network security config, network security configuration. You add it there and then say okay. So after putting okay, then you click on split so you can see the source code. Okay, or you can click on code only and minimize him. So you add these things in your these few lines in your application. You just open a tag called network security config. You open it. Okay, network security config, and then you close it here. Okay, so after doing that, then inside that tag you put this other tag. You call it what? Domain config. Okay, domain config, and then you put clear text traffic permitted to true. Clear text traffic permitted and equate it to true. Please you do that. Okay, this can give a warning at first time. Then after doing that, and then you add here the domains that you want to clear. Okay, so among the domains, so you put here domain, open a tag called domain, and say include subdomains. Include subdomains, and then you put true, and then you specify this domain, of course the domain of our localhost. So after doing that, so you have to pause the video and look at this text. Of course you don't need to know it, or you don't need to memorize it for the first time, because you're not the one who created the Android operating system. So we are all learning. When you get a problem, you search and then you find out how to solve it, and then you learn it, and once you learn it, then you learn it forever, and you'll be able to help others. Otherwise, don't blame yourself for not knowing this, because you're not the one who created the operating system. But after you've known it, then you'll know it forever. Okay, so you can pause the video and write these few things. So after doing that, then you come to the project, and then you come to Android manifest. I have it here, manifest, and then there's a place that you add in the application here. You see where there is application, in the application tag here, in the application tag you add this attribute inside the application tag. You see, application tag, you add an attribute called Android network security config. Okay, Android network security config, and you pass the other file that you just created, which is XML stroke network security config. So you do that. So once you do that, hopefully the project should be good to go. So let's run it again and see. So there we go. So I give here the first name Muhindo, the last name Mubarak. Okay. Oh, so then sorry, the phone number Muhindo John. Okay. So after doing that, let's go ahead and sign up. Perfect. Oh, permission denied. Why? Let me find out the reason. Permission denied. It's supposed to work for now. It's supposed to work for now. Let me find the reason why it is being denied.
I think I'm going crazy.
So sorry, I just paused the video, was figuring out what I'd just not done. Okay, so there are a few things that we have to add. Okay, so after we've added this, so we added this together, I believe. Okay, we've added this configuration together. So you have to add more lines here inside the application tag. You have to add these 2 lines. You have to add use clear text traffic and set it to true, and then put tools.replace Android clear tools.replace, and then you pass Android.use clear text traffic. You add this also. Okay, so after doing that, you don't forget also one most important thing, uses internet. Okay, this one, the permission for internet. Okay, so you have to come here and add that it uses internet. So those are the three things that we had forgotten to do, and once you do that, then your application should be able to do what? To run and communicate with the server. Let's go ahead now and run the application, see if we can be able to send something to the server. So it is running, it's done. I hope please you got that those 2 points, this one and these 2 lines, and then this, please. Okay. Hope we are together, right? So let's go ahead and put John test, and then phone number 077 whatever, and then click on sign up. You see, success 100%. So even that you have successfully registered the user. So if you click on sign up again to send something, but it means that you have successfully registered the what? The user. That is so beautiful. Okay. So let's go ahead and do what? And then do the remaining logic. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the remaining logic. At least by this, we should be able to log in someone and know that you're done with the registration and the login part. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll go straight to the register, and then the video, let me check if the video remaining with 5 minutes, at least shouldn't go beyond 55 minutes. We're remaining 10 minutes. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that, please. So here in response, of course, having this response. Okay. So I can put now the response dot okay, so the response is coming through this. Okay, response. So I can check if the response dot code, remember we're setting the code equals to 0, then we know here there's something wrong. Okay, you know that there's something wrong, so you have to tell the user. You can tell them using the dialog box, or can tell them using the toast. We can use the dialog box, but to save time, let's use just the toast. Okay, toast, and we use long failed to create account because let's give the because here. Because what? Because you know the because you're sending it in the message, right? You're sending it the message. You're sending it in the message. So let's put here because response dot what? Dot get message. Dot message, right? Dot message. So that's why we're sending the message. Let us also use the other status thing, and we'll be putting our status there. Okay. So we can just say our status dot what? Dot set text, and then we pass the message there. Okay. So and then once it fails here, we return automatically. We return. Okay, return. Okay. Hang on. Okay, we return if it fails. So if the code is 1, then you know everything was successful. Okay, but you know in the third parameter, they're sending us now the details of the what? Of this user, the detail of the user. So we have to convert, but this detail is in what? Is in JSON. Okay, so let's convert these details to what? Back to the normal object. So to convert to the normal object, of course, this details is a mode of a what? Of a user. So let's go ahead and create that mode of what? Of user. Let's go ahead and create the model of user. So let's go ahead and do it very fast. I'm going to create the mode of user. We already have the mode of the login. Okay, let's convert it to the mode of login. Okay, so you're going to say to convert to the to what? To convert from JSON to the model, I mean to the Java class, we can say login, something like that. Okay, logged in user model. We can say logged in user model equals, and then we can say the response dot what? Dot message. Of course, that's where, I mean dot data. Sorry, we are having this information what? Dot what is it? The third parameter is what? The third parameter is data, right? Dot data. I hope so. Dot data. Oh, in our response we don't have data. Let us see the response. We have data and it's a string. Okay. Response. Sorry. Response dot get dot body dot data. Okay, so we're going to convert that to what? To the Java class. So we'll use JSON. I hope I still remember how to use JSON. So to use JSON, you just simply say JSON dot JSON. That's how I use JSON. Just add here new JSON dot from JSON, yeah, right? JSON, and then here in type of, you put the class that you're expecting. So expecting login user model to be converted back to this. Okay, login user model dot what dot class. Yeah, hope that's it. Okay, so if it is successful, I'll just simply toast here. I can say the status dot set text. I can say success, and then I put the name of the user who has logged in, so that's why I can know that okay, things are okay. Success. I can say your account, okay, just say success. Okay, success, and then put the name of the user dot what dot name, and I just do that and see if things will be okay. If it gives that, then you can know we have successfully even converted the data of the user into what, into the login model. Loading. The video has been too long, but we're going to finish. Okay, so let's go ahead and put John call 07 whatever, and then click on submit. See, success John call. That's beautiful. So it means that we have successfully logged in the user. I successfully got the user back. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in now this user. I don't know the time, let me check the. Okay, let's use the remaining 4 minutes to log in the user. Oh, we should do it in the next video. Let's log in the user now. I know we are done with the with the login logic. The remaining video we begin with another logic. Okay, so let's go ahead and log in the user. The video has been too long. Let's start from there. The next video we'll start from there straight away, logging in the user and then going to the chat side of the application. But up to now, you should be able to reach up to this point. Please don't give up until you reach and until you finish this. Okay, if you've been part of this journey, let's finish it like how we promised from the first video. So in the next video we start from there. Please, we log in the user. Right now we can at least make sure we're at least sure that we are able to send the data to the WhatsApp localhost, and we receive back the data. For example, if you come here in user, you can see the people who have been registering. They are here. You see John Corey was the last one, and we click here, you can see he has come. So it is working. So let's start from there. You see, let's start from there. And thank you for being part of this video. Being part of this journey. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.